end of a business era.
Clough Engineering, a genuine homegrown business success story. One of the oldest continuous companies in WA. Brothers Jack and Bill Clough started their building company in 1919. That was 12 years after two other brothers, Arthur and Robert Bunning, staked a claim in the building supplies business. The Bunnings boys called their business Bunnings Brothers. And that imaginative thinking rubbed off on Jack and Bill because they decided to call their company
Clough Brothers.
That's right. The mid to late 1950s was a coming-of-age era for the Clough brothers. Three important things happened in that period. In 1954, Harold Clough joined his dad Jack at the recently renamed J.O. Clough and Son. I'll explain why that's important in a bit. A year later, they won the right to build WA's first skyscraper, the National Mutual building on St George's Terrace, which used to look like this and now looks like this. In 1957, Clough won its first major government project, an audacious plan to build a bridge between the city foreshore and South Perth. They used an innovative building technique and it worked. The Narrows Bridge opened in November 1959. It was celebrated by the people of Perth until they realised there was now no natural barrier between them and the feared inhabitants of a southern fishing village known as Mandurah. There were similar ill-found celebrations 30 years later when Clough started work on the Graham Farmer Freeway, thereby making it easier for the residents of Midland to roam west.
Well, they were bringing the city together.
One brick at a time.
Oh, friend! Oh, friend!
In 1998, Clough Engineering listed on the ASX. Its experience in the booming oil and gas industry excited early investors and enticed new ones. Harold was at the top of his game by this stage. He had operations in Brisbane, Indonesia, Hong Kong and Papua New Guinea. He was one of the most influential and respected business leaders in Australia, and he owned one of the best known addresses in Perth. But he was also getting on. Harold stood down as chairman in 2004, but he remained on the board. Things were going well early last decade under new CEO Kevin Gallagher. He doubled down on the company's exposure to the oil and gas sector before shifting to head up energy giant Santos. But things started going south this year. Harold died in January. And soon after that, rumours circulated that Clough was losing a lot of money on one of its biggest projects, the Snowy 2.0 scheme. In May, Chief Executive Peter Bennett scoffed at suggestions in an East Coast newspaper that his company was in trouble. "We are debt-free," he said at the time. "We are still anticipating a strong financial result for the year. We have a record order book. We don't have any loss-making projects in the portfolio." 5 months later, Pete had put the for sale sign up. And a month after that, Clough's parent company, South Africa's Murray and Roberts, told the Johannesburg Stock Exchange it had a cash flow crisis because of cost blowouts at two projects.
Snowy 2.0?
No, weirdly not, given the rumours. The sore spots were here in WA, the Waitsia gas project in the Midwest, and in the US, a big petrochemical plant, both way over budget, and Clough was hemorrhaging cash.
We got a bleeder!
Less than half a year after Peter Bennett assured everyone that everything was hunky-dory, his company was teetering on collapse. Its white knight was an Italian engineering company called WeBuild. Promised a $30 million cash injection as part of a takeover, but that deal collapsed on Monday.
Why?
It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
Clough is now in administration, which means the company's management have come clean about shitting the bed and have asked external managers to come in and clean up the mess.
So what happens now?
3 options. The administrator can right the ship and return control to the board.
Super duper! That's nice!
Don't hold your breath. That doesn't happen very often.
Damn it.
Option 2 is a deed of company arrangement, or DOCA as it's known in business. This is where creditors and management signed a binding contract that sets out how the business can trade its way back to profitability. Might involve an undertaking to sell some assets.
I have to take the house too.
And unfortunately, it usually involves sacking a dickload of staff.
No, I don't hate you.
Option 3 is liquidation. Everything's sold and the proceeds distributed to creditors.
Be a sad way to go if that happens.
It's sad because in a state where most businesses made money by cutting things down or blowing things up, Clough actually built things. And that's a great legacy. Even if it does mean we occasionally have to socialise with people from Mandurah and Midland.
The wildlings.
I'm Ben Harvey.
If anyone knows how to murder someone and get away with it, it would have been him. He was an animal.
You believe Gary White is an innocent man?
100%.